Welcome back, everyone. So today's going to be a bit interesting. It's another meme reading because I've been doing a lot of those, been having a lot of fun with it. Last time I briefly mentioned the fact that I am in fact a Christian, and apparently I caught a lot of people by surprise, and I realized I haven't really talked a lot about it in my channel, and that's mostly because I just don't like how comment sections get around channels that talk about this type of stuff. So we are here for memes, Christian memes, but memes nonetheless. This is for fun, this will be jokes, this will be silliness. Don't take anything here too seriously, alright? Now, with that said, let's get into it. Comment section is still going to be a dumpster fire, I know it. The Sith cultist, Matthew 6:14. When you see French people making art at the Olympics? Oh no! Anyway, yeah, it really wasn't that big of a deal. I don't know why everyone was talking about it. Honestly, I'm just tired of fundamentalists trying to make everything about them when it clearly isn't. Maybe their media literacy would be better if they didn't blatantly label all secular media as satanic. The absence of religious themes doesn't make it something evil. I don't get why it's so hard for these people to grasp. I know, right? I actually feel this is a very accurate image. Christian nationalists often offended by something not worth being offended over is a headline that could appear in the papers basically every single day. Yep. Imagine believing in a version of God that would be stopped short by mascara. Wild. Yeah, you'd think that, God being all-powerful wouldn't be so easily defeated, but for some reason nationalists are less convinced. Baxter. Jesus wasn't gonna stop, was he? Oh, well, he's gonna be coming back soon enough, don't you worry. Sends disciples ahead on a boat while he prays. Yeah. Doesn't pay for good sailing weather. This is true. Tries to walk past their boat on the water. Yeah, he did do that. Only stops because they think he's a ghost. Do not be afraid. Refuses to elaborate. Jesus was so chill. I feel like people really don't consider how calm he was as a person. Not like the Last Supper painting was historically accurate anyway. They definitely didn't all sit on the side of the same table. Sorry, what? Hard to swallow pills. Not everything that offends you is persecution. I think a lot of religious people need that one. But, it is true. The point of the painting was to represent the event, not to be a depiction of the event. They're two different things. And also, we are supposed to worship idols. That includes stuff like paintings. The drag show tableau, it burns us. Some Christians this weekend. When you're watching the Olympics and you accidentally get exposed to French art. Oh no. That is a metal drawing though, wow. Trouble difficult. Today you will be with me in paradise. Oh, well, that's nice. The thief next to Jesus arriving in heaven after the most clutch buzzer beater ever. Called it very closely, but you made it in. Yeah, I guess technically anyone who died on the cross at the same time as Jesus wasn't able to commit any additional sins. Damn, I didn't even think about that until now. Just gonna throw it out there because a lot of people don't seem to recognize this. The point of him dying on the cross is that it was actually a fairly common way to die. A lot of people died on a cross. Jesus is just the one we care about because of who Jesus was when he died, not because he died on a cross. He died for our sins, that's why we care. Additional sky. When he had said this, Jesus called in a loud voice, Lazarus, gather up your rings and come out. How are you not dead? I have no idea. Yeah, Lazarus, he was really confused. He must have been. Like, I'm sorry, but just coming up from the dead out of nowhere? Like, that must have been such a weird moment for the dude. The original, Jesus is my boyfriend. Wait, what? You oppose depicting Jesus as a drag queen. Uh-huh. I oppose depicting Jesus as an Italian. Yeah, it's true. He wasn't either. Austin Powers. Judo chop. Judo Christian values. Aw, boo. Boo. That's a really bad pun. One day at a time, a humble meme. See here, I'm trying to be a good person, but they're stupid. No! Being a Christian means you recognize all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. No one is righteous. Well, you know, if you just remove the part where you say no one is righteous, then you're correct. You're real close there, bud. Trying to be a good person. Yeah, I feel like there's a weird amount of people who think just because they are a sinner and will always be one and they have to, repent to Jesus, doesn't mean that they can't try to be good to people. I don't know why so many people struggle with that concept. Christian dating, from coffee to commitment in a flash. A lot of Christians do that, actually. Christian relationships, first date, yeah. Second date, yep. You laugh, but that does happen a lot very quickly. Especially with some groups like Jehovah's Witnesses and the Amish, where it's a lot more, I think segregated would probably be the best word here, but even with its negative connotations, where they very much so, you need to get with that person as quickly as you can, or else you'll lose them. The Jesus opening, Catholic variation. Oh, okay, we're bringing chess memes to this. I like it. Jesus, one of you will try and disconnect me. The last Zoom. Alright, that's pretty funny. I am both people. Oh? People commenting on theology memes, right? People posting theology memes. Yeah. I don't know why, but I really like the turkey shooting Olympic meme. I don't know why. Differences. John's Gospel, yeah. Mark's Gospel. No, they're onto something here. Some of the disciples were a lot more prolific with how they wrote, and a lot more detailed than others. Former risk to self. Basically fan fiction. Oh? Nice argument. Unfortunately, I wrote a book in which I'm a Chad and you burn in hell. Yeah, the fun fact, the modern day view of hell that we have came from Dante's Inferno, which is the first in a trilogy of books called Dante's Divine Comedy. And it is literally a book where the writer gets taken by his idol. That's not a joke. He actually idolized this dude as a guide through hell. And he made up everything and a bunch of characters from Greek mythology because he hated the Greeks so damn much, especially the people in the Trojan War. He goes around watching all of them burning and stuff. That is literally all he did for that entire book, and it's now what we recognize as hell. Which speaks an awful lot to how spiteful some people will be about hell. And wanting all their enemies to go there. They're just wanting everyone to be happy. A meme for every line in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Day 272. Are you insane? Also, cross-post is an amazing pun, and I love it. I already read that part. The disciples, when Mary Magdalene says she saw Jesus alive outside the tomb, and you're saying we should just believe her? Okay, here's the thing about this. The disciples saw a lot of crazy stuff, including Jesus already bring back Lazarus, so it's not impossible for them to have just believed it. But at the same time, can you really blame anyone for being skeptical that this is just something that happened to? Like, they kept being surprised. Okay, I know it's only August, but Mom, can we have a Halloween party? No, there's a party at church. The August 31st party at church. Diet of worms. Oh, no. They're doing that thing where they have the snacks open so everyone just raw hands them. Oh, that's nasty. John has an eye for detail when it comes to Peter. Oh, what do you mean by that, I wonder? Matthew/Mark/Luke, one of the disciples pulled his sword and cut off the high priest's servant's ear. Right? Yeah, checks out. This is what they do. Yeah. John? It was Peter. Peter did it. I like to think this is a case where John was just like, nah, we're not protecting this dude. Peter did it, and we respect him for it. God to Noah 6,000 years ago, more or less. Emergency alert. National Weather Service, a flash flood warning is effective. Oh, that's just an actual flash flood warning. Yeah, no, that is basically what God did. Hey, bud, there's gonna be a big flood. Alright, see ya. I'll be back with some blueprints for a big boat. He's not bad, guys. I feel like there was supposed to be a space there. When people say Thanos is bad because he wanted to eliminate everyone and begin all over again. Oh yeah. We don't talk about that because a rainbow happened, so it's okay. Batman is real. He is risen. Well, hopefully you're not afraid of Batman. When you killed that weird cult leader 3 days ago, but now his grave is empty. Oh no. You know, I think my favorite part about that is that if you were an actual soldier at the time, it would have not only been reasonable for you to assume Jesus would be a cult leader, but it also would be reasonable for you to assume he didn't actually come back from the dead and someone just stole his corpse. Like, if it were to happen nowadays and no one recorded it, that's what we would think. Information is not that easy. Remember, the people in the Bible didn't get to read the Bible. They did not have this information. Those were clearly cigarettes, but my point still stands. Humble meme. Even though whenever you call something you do or yourself humble, you are contradicting yourself, but alright. When someone asks if you want to get high, but you've already got the most high, it does actually look like he's refusing a cigarette. That's pretty funny. I like that. Wait, this is the Gospel of John. John, when did you write a gospel? Wanna know who ran the fastest, Peter? I ran the fastest, Peter. I don't know why, but John as the Joker somehow fits really well. But yeah, John did run the fastest, that is true. He just went for it. Toxic candles. That's... I don't know why, but that kind of scares me as a title. However did he figure out that God wanted him to confront David? That's a fair question, I suppose. Nathan the prophet, figuring out how long Bermissa was in the harem when she had her son. Oh no, I remember this. Oh no, I forgot about that when he freaking sent the husband to war over and over again to try to get him killed. And he just came back as such a good soldier. Like, don't you worry, I served loyally. Go home to your wife. No, I shall serve with my brothers. Since then, Mark has always been seen with 3 coats, 2 short shirts, and 4 underwear. Mark, they tried to arrest some guy that was with Jesus in Gatsmere, but he took off his shirt and ran naked. The disciples, who was it? Mark, not important. That's not important. Don't worry about it. Well, Mark, referring to himself as some guy. Look, you do what you gotta do sometimes. If you gotta run away without your clothes on, so be it. It's just an exposure wasn't a crime back then. It's not premarital sex if you don't get married. That's technically true. Only from her biblical loopholes. Well, unfortunately, God knows what's in your heart, so... Womp. No showering for him. Ew. No more flipping games, and this time, Archangel Michael fighting Satan on the Day of Judgment. Thor, I'm allowed to kill you. You know, that fits, actually. Moses in the Bible was an unreal guy, trust fund kid, but he chose to be the voice of the streets. That is true, actually. It was very much so he didn't allow that power and wealth to corrupt him. Oh, get that stuff, my mans? Then David danced before the Lord with all his might. I'm choosing to not use audio for this because of copyright, but look at him go. Heck yeah. Yeah, he went for it. There are some cases where characters are described as dancing before beings, like distracting kings and whatnot. Samuel finishing off the tower by being told to come in and entertain, all that, where he just goes at it. And yeah, I'd say this is basically what I imagine every time. What, you think they were doing a single person tango? Nah, they were going at it. Cha-cha-cha! Eat the rich. God really said eat the rich. Come and gather yourselves together upon the supper of the great God, that I may eat the flesh of the kings. It's really hard to read Old Text Bible, to be honest. And the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty. I know this is supposed to be referring to how in the apocalypse you're going to have to eat people, and the rich and the poor will be treated the same. Later on it describes servants as well, suffering the same fate. But at the same time, the wording's funny, so we're rolling with it. But I do want to throw out there, at the very end you can see, not one of the many passages challenging wealth or greed, in my opinion. That is true. In this case, it's actually not referring to the meaning of eat the rich, even though the Bible in general does say a desire for wealth and greed is very bad. Jesus hated the rich and loved the poor. That was like one of the main things he stood for. He was very upfront. The Bible is not subtle about that. It makes me so confused as to why there's multi-millionaire preachers out there. Because that really shouldn't be the case. I pretend to have divine insight and spiritual gifts playing into people's fears and insecurities to make them believe that they are bad people. Take advantage of conservative moral panic. Try to convince people that we're in the end times. Instruct parents to heavily police their children, and overall encourage folks to badger and or alienate friends and families who aren't quote-unquote saved. Evangelical preachers. Oh, I do not like evangelical preachers at all. Especially evangelicals. They bother me so much. Oh God. That just sounds like emotional manipulation, says the reasonable Christian. Yeah, I've been thinking this one for years. Then you have fundies over there in the corner hanging out. Is it really manipulation if it brings people to Christ? Answer me that. Considering it usually doesn't bring people to Christ and just brings people to you, it most certainly is. Fundies, you make a great point. No. Bad point. I didn't even realize that was going to be the next line. Yeah, I'm here with the reasonable Christians on this one, apparently. Oh, everyone else is just watching. The sad thing is, there are actually a lot of people that, when hearing I'm a Christian, assume I do believe this type of thing is okay to do. Consider this my public dismissal of that. That no, you should not emotionally manipulate people just to drag them into what you believe. You should instead just tell them and sort of let them be people. Since, God gave us free will for a reason. I'm more annoyed that this is considered a hot take. I thought I accidentally photographed the second coming of Christ, but it was just a stranger and the statue. That's actually really good. That's a good photo. Timed perfection. If only there was an account dedicated to perfectly timed photos. Stay on this timed perfection. No one wants you here. Shoo, be gone. I know nothing about them, but this just seemed like an annoyingly sassy, self-absorbed comment, so they've earned my spite. The knights who say not? What do you mean there's no war? When you die honorably in battle, and instead of Valhalla, you wake up in a Catholic haven. No, wait, what the heck is this place? What? I'm not sure how you tried to get into Valhalla and end up in Catholic heaven. That's my question. I feel like the two places' requirements are pretty damn contradictory. I mean, good for you. Welcome to the club. It's just how? How you do that? All of Egypt mourning the loss of their firstborn sons. That is true. It was a very, very bad time for them all. Some random Egyptian who saw the Israelites spraying blood on their doors and thought it looked cool. Shh. Just stay quiet. Hope no one notices. I have been blessed. DoorDash. Jesus is approaching with your order from Taco Bell. Listen, he works in mysterious ways, alright? Imagine going to a church where the pastor doesn't even know you. This meme was made by a small local church gang. It's a fair point, honestly. The really big churches like this feel more like you're watching a game than you're actually going to church. Like, you could watch a video of a pastor talking and you'd get just as much of a connection. It just isn't real, you know? It doesn't really flow right. I always give a lazy two-finger salute when cars stop for me in the crosswalk. And it's devolved so much that at this point I feel like an icon of Jesus whenever I cross the street. Wait, what? Car stops for me at the crosswalk. Me. Oh, blessed art thou, automobile, for you have served the meek and humble. Go on your way, knowing that your act of kindness has saved me 2 minutes on my trip to the Beluga. You know, the sad thing is, this is very much so the type of thing that Jesus would be like, yeah. Disconvenience yourself for the sake of other people. That's good. Good job, you. You serve those meek and humble. When the quote-unquote persecuted become persecutors. Ooh, a spicy meme. There's been a misunderstanding. We're Christians. White Christian nationalists. Okay, what kind of Christian are you? Because, you know, unless you're exactly like me, I don't like you. Even though the one thing we're supposed to do is love our neighbors. It is astounding how big of a hot take it is to just say, love people regardless of whether or not they're like you. Started watching The Chosen, but classics are classics. Fair point? I'm the best Bible adaptation, The Chosen. No, I am. The Prince of Egypt. Oh, the Prince of Egypt was pretty good, actually. Amateurs? What was that, punk? Amateur? Oh, VeggieTales is a goat. I'm sorry, but it is one of the greatest shows out there. I wish Netflix didn't just, destroy it, but the old VeggieTales is really good. The original Lisa Landercunt. Every day, for at least an hour a day, I think about those women who allegedly went to DMX's hotel room expecting a hoedown and got a Bible study instead. We got him! We got him, folks! Yeah! The illusion of free choice. Wholesome. Being raised Jewish, being raised Catholic, watching every episode of VeggieTales. I'm non-denominational and I've also done that, so there you go. This little light of mine. The careless parallels of our fallen world thrown us out. I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, just gotta keep on going. Jesus, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Christian nationalist? Ha! No! It's astounding because they're the same people who will shout to the heavens that we need more Christian values while refusing to acknowledge actual Christian values. I'm economical, I swear. I think the Pope is wrong, says Orthodox. I agree, says Protestant. No, you're not allowed to agree with me. No. Oh boy. The gospel in a nutshell. Death devouring my soul. Nah, Jesus is taking that one. Yeah. I don't know why there's so many pizzas around this image, but I love it. Seriously, what happened to him? The writers of the New Testament? I think I forgot something. If you forgot, it couldn't be that important. Yeah, I think you're right. Joseph. Yeah, I don't think we ever found out what happened to him. Actually, I can't think of it either. I think he just stopped being relevant so people stopped writing about him. Oh well. Used tablets before Apple, doesn't sue, and they broke just as easily. When everyone's getting fed but you. Jesus multiplies fish and bread. Me? I'm vegetarian and gluten intolerant. Well, honestly, back then, if you were a vegetarian and gluten intolerant, you weren't going to survive. Like, a lot of people were barely living off what they ate, so you were kind of screwed. I don't even think vegetarian was a lifestyle option at the time. I think it was the 18th century, I want to say, when that actually became possible. Like, most places did not have enough access to plants that can produce protein for it. I'm not kidding right now. I get the joke, but I'm just saying, like, at the time, that was not an option. That is a modern-day privilege. History memes. Ooh, nuns being based, as usual. Nuns can be pretty cool sometimes. Sex worker health clinic. Oh, it's Indonesia. Papua, I want to say, in the 1990s. AIDS is a deadly disease. Always practice safe sex. Remember to wear a condom. And a water-based lubricant to reduce the risk of condom failure. I don't know how they would have done that one on a beat. Stay safe and may the Lord be with you. Yep, just genuine love and care for your fellow neighbor. Oh my gosh, this is so nice. Yep, that's just genuine love for your fellow people. That's all there is to it. These guys are an icon, honestly. We should try to be more like this. I'm absolutely disgusted by the blasphemy I saw today. What? What's wrong with Lego? Lego Last Supper. I kind of like it. It works, actually. This is pretty well detailed. I kind of like this. Based on a true story. Realized it today. Thank God. My child will be depressed because they think life has no meaning. They have no friends or partner. Well, that's just sad. Nah, they trust in God's plan. And know they'll be in heaven upon passing away. Yep. Who needs EXE function? Executive function, sorry. Start off so well. The church in the 1st century? Yeah. The church in the 21st century? Yeah. Sort of burned to the ground. Evangelical people being like taking responsibility for the emotional and sexual trauma they inflict, especially on children and women. Nah, attacking some queer minority again, that's where it's at. It's not our fault, it's everyone else. Don't try to work on yourself like God wanted us to. Just blame everyone else. Loving your neighbor, that's optional, I think, right? Loki, good point. Why can't we all be friends? Science and religion are opposites? That is just blatantly false. Science is the study of God's creation. There it is. You gotta remember, God is the how, and oftentimes the why. Science is a more in-depth explanation of how, and sometimes why. It's more in-depth of, where'd this thing come from? It came from God? Yeah, no duh, but like, how did God do that? Because we're far enough in now that most things aren't just God snapped his fingers and did it. It's God snapped his fingers and did it a long time ago, and it's changed to this. I don't believe in labels. I'm just Christian. I don't say I'm Catholic, Protestant, or Orthodox. Choosing is a sin. So I always just pray in the Lord's name. That's Protestant. We count those. In the work, God's fingers is stretched to the maximum. Bam's finger has the least contracted I don't know that word, but it's the finger joint things. The meaning of that is to explain that God is always there, but the decision to seek him belongs to man. That's really interesting. Yeah, I could see that actually. That checks out. This is the painting they're talking about, by the way. Since I know not everyone is so filled with the knowledge of this as to where they can recognize just by the hand. So there you go. There's your full image of the painting. Devil Went Down to Georgia is fascinating to me because it's so American. In any other culture, it would be a cautionary tale of hubris and fooling with the demonic. But in America, Johnny actually is just better than the devil. It's so American. No, they got a point here. Actually, when I was younger, purely on my own, by the way, no one told me this. When I listened to Devil Went Down to Georgia, in my head, I immediately rationalized it as this is one of the few times in media where it is actually the devil trying to trick people. And now that I'm older, I realize, no, it's just Americans being stupid. Dr. X. John referring to himself as the disciple who Jesus loved the most in the book he wrote himself. Yeah, sometimes I really gotta stop and think, wait, who wrote this book again? Look, they tried to be humble, but, everyone falls short of God. Coexist! That's a lot of caps right there. Biblical prophet. Pagan May Queens. Wait, what? Why would they? The power to order gruesome bear-related deaths as punishment for pedestickery. They aren't wrong. They aren't wrong. You make fun of me for being bald? Die by bear attack. At least the people selling to preppers must have benefited. Oh no. Bibles predicted the end of times. And they just... Oh no. Don't make me tap the sign. This right here. Can you read it? This very simple passage that outright tells you that you cannot predict when the end times will come. No one will know. It's an interesting idea. Maybe by doing that and saying we know when the end times will come, it won't come until we stop doing that. That's generally a more reasonable belief than thinking that you can predict when it will come. Seriously, since Jesus' very death, people have been predicting the end times. I swear, it's been every single day. We don't know when it will happen, and when it happens, we need to accept Christ. We need to have accepted Christ by then. That's it. We do not know when it will happen. Gosh darn it. Meme from some year AD. Praise Jesus. Heck yeah. The leprosy leaving my body after Jesus tells me to be cleansed. The only person who could actually just say, just get better, and it worked. Alright, last one. If you don't know the difference between this and this, you might not be as religious as you think. It's true, wait a minute. I don't even think the second one's supposed to depict the Last Supper, is it? No, it's not. What the heck are these guys? Is it just because it's a bunch of people on a table? Please tell me you're not actually. Oh gosh, they totally are. Oh no. Is that actually what they've been on about this whole time? Oh. So I'm just cringing at, a bunch of Christians refusing to acknowledge other cultures even existing. Just because ours is the best one doesn't mean the others don't exist, damn it. Alright, well that was slightly painful as I'm reminded by the stupidity of my own religious beliefs because some of the people I'm with don't understand the words love thy neighbor. But hey, whatever. We'll take it one day at a time. By the way, this entire subreddit is full of reposts, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get enough memes to do another one of these anytime soon. That's just an issue of supply though, not an issue of belief. So if you guys enjoyed this, I'll be seeing you around, and I wish you all an absolutely fantastic day.